So I had this thought. It was while I was playing Crisis Core. Who is the Steam Deck for? Like, who the heck is this thing for? Is it for PC gamers? Is it for newcomers? Is it for console gamers? Is it specifically for people who play on Nintendo Switch? And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yes, it's for all of the above. I actually think it's for a very specific type of gamer, and it's why at first I had a hard time understanding what the Steam Deck was really all about, and then upon further investigation and just getting more comfortable with the device, I started to realize, oh, this is for me. Let's first break down kind of what the Steam Deck is and what the Steam Deck isn't. So first, let's do what it is. The Steam Deck is a gaming device that can do PC games. It is a portable device, and it is also a device that allows you to do some hybrid gaming. Not super well, but it can do hybrid gaming, and I would say it is also capable of doing PC things. Now, it is not exclusively, I would say more intended to be a gaming device that can do PC things rather than a PC that can game. That's gonna be something more like the Asus ROG Ally X or Legion Go. Stuff that runs Windows. Now, when it comes to implementation of all of these things, side note, I like flat whites. It's my favorite type of beverage at a coffee shop. So, of course, I got my Yeti, but I made a custom flat white cup. Can you see that? Can you see? Is it focused? It's not focused, but it says flat white on it. If you can't tell, flat white. Yeah, I know I'm crazy and silly, but whatever. Cool. I heard a really funny joke. It was not mine, but I'll repeat it. There's some guy saying, yeah, I like to go outside. I like to drink alcohol outdoors. And I like to, oh wait, no, I messed that one up. It was someone saying, yeah, I saw a guy that was wearing a shirt that said, I like to go outside, camp, drink heavily outdoors, and make sure that everybody knows it. And they said, well, it didn't say all that. It actually just said Yeti on it, but And I thought, that's really funny. I don't drink alcohol, but that's pretty funny. Almost screwed that joke up. Mostly screwed that joke up. Back to what we're talking about. So, we talked about what it is. Now, more importantly, let's talk about what it isn't. The Steam Deck isn't going to give you a 4K gaming experience. It is not going to completely replace gaming consoles or PCs, despite what people may use for clickbait. I've done it. It will not replace any of that fully. It also is not a device that I would say works the best with a TV. It works with a TV, but you're going to run into some issues. It is not a 4K machine, through and through. The upscaling isn't perfect. It can do it, but again, you are going to not have the best viewing experience. Aside from frame rates, I would say that playing a game like Hades scales better on the Nintendo Switch to the TV than the Steam Deck does to a TV. To a TV. Now, a monitor is a very different story. If you're playing the Steam Deck on a gaming monitor, by gaming monitor, I really just mean a monitor that you game on. It doesn't really matter if it's gaming specific. We're talking about frame rates of, 120, a resolution of 1080p, maybe 1440p, stuff like that. You're going to get a far better experience. Stick in the 27-inch display size range. You're just going to have a better experience. It's going to scale a little bit better, and the customizations you can do when it comes to scaling your resolution, by scaling your resolution, I just mean stretching the image to fit the canvas size, is going to just be better the smaller the resolution, right? If you're going to be able to maintain your image at a 1080p thing, it's going to scale better. Now, something that I was really thinking about yesterday when I was playing through Crisis Core. We're playing through Crisis Core on the PlayStation 5. The reason why I chose the PlayStation 5 was because of performance, because it runs in 4K for the most part. It is going to give me a 60 frames per second experience. All of these types of things I was really, really interested in, and as someone who doesn't have a gaming PC to push higher frames, I was like, you know what, this is going to be just fine. And the gaming PC conversation is a really interesting one. I've had it a lot. I've had a lot of discussions back and forth. Oh, I want to build a gaming PC, of which I really still do. And understanding, budget for all of that stuff when it comes to really getting to the gaming PC and getting it all set up. But again, playing last night was an interesting one because at first I was like, this is a great experience. PlayStation 5's awesome. But for a game like Crisis Core, which is a mission-based game, and by mission-based, I mean the story hits certain story beats, you're going to be doing certain things, but then you're going to get to a point where you get to select your missions and progress that way, which are optional. You don't have to do all of them, but you can. And when you do this, it really lends itself to a good portable experience. Honestly, I mean, the game was originally created for the PlayStation Portable, and so that's the form factor it was made to be used in. Now, I'm not saying that the PlayStation 5 version is bad. It's not. It's perfectly fine. But it started to really trigger a thought in my mind. I was like, oh, this is an interesting thought, which is, who is the Steam Deck for? I personally think that when the Steam Deck came into the market, I think that maybe it was marketed towards PC gamers first. People who were very familiar or already had Steam libraries. It makes sense. It's for Steam. I had maybe 3 games on Steam because I ran Mac. 4. We're going smoke today. We're going smoke. Good. I had 4. And of 4, we're going to call this Shenron. What are we? Shenron Smoke. That's what it is. Shenron Smoke. That's what it is. Because smoke appears and then Shenron. Anyway. I only had a few titles. And of those few titles, I never really used them. Because again, I run Apple products. And I am by definition, I guess, console gamer. PlayStation and Nintendo Switch at the time. Now Xbox too. Not right now, but you know what I mean. And as I was, thinking about this more and more, I was like, okay, so originally I think this was geared towards PC users. And when I got the Steam Deck LCD, I was like, there's not much here. I'm gonna have to repurchase my library and move from, this seems kind of ridiculous. Well, since the game has come out and continued to be out, we are noticing that this device is getting a lot of support. I mean, a lot of games are starting to get that very powerful green check mark. Verified. Deck verified, which means that the device itself can run the game. In some ways, it doesn't run it perfectly. I would say that example that I experienced was something like Resident Evil 4 remake. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Started playing that game, and it's a deck-verified game. Same with Horizon Zero Dawn. Deck-verified game, but the performance, the upscaling, all that stuff is great. You're going to be able to do some cool things, but still, it is not the best gaming experience. I mean, I, for one, have a PlayStation 5. Horizon Zero Dawn is far better to play on a PlayStation 5, especially when I have a OLED TV to plug it into. Like, it's just a better experience. Is it cool that you can do some pretty cool, magical, upscaling, super resolution things with the Steam Deck? Yeah, it's a fun thing, but I would call it more of a gimmick or a gadget. Not gimmick, but more of it like a, ooh, this is cool. But for sustained gaming, like, if I had the option to play on PlayStation 5, I'll just play on PlayStation 5. But again, I'm like, this is more for PC users. But as time has gone on and we've seen more of this come, as I was saying, the deck verified stuff, I'm realizing that the Steam Deck as a whole has made itself into the console spot. And I know people are like, it's just gaming, not PC versus console. I just wish that the PC versus console was simply a preference in user base. I wish that was the connotation, not user base, in user experience. I wish that was the connotation that came with PC versus console. Unfortunately, it has to do with some silly, dumb, I mean, honestly, it's the minority. People who scream about PC versus console, and get mad about it, idiots. But really, what I'm trying to say is the PC experience grants you the most flexibility to do the most, and you have that compatibility. With Steam, you can stream from your very, very, one would hope, capable PC to the Steam Deck and play using the hardware in your office or in your gaming room, whatever you want to call it. Now, some say it's not the most seamless experience, but still it's something you can do. Okay, awesome. And with, it's like the PlayStation Portal kind of thing. But the PC gaming scene is something that has that raw power. Raw power. And raw power doesn't equate to better gaming experience. And in some cases, it would actually equate to a more convoluted one. Let me explain. So, let's think about cars for a second. I'm not going to get super crazy into cars and use this analogy and go really crazy with it, but I'm just going to say this. There is raw power that exists in the car, right? You have a muscle car. Big, beefy, loud engine, has a lot of horsepower, okay? Lots of horsepower. And then you have a track car. A track car may have a good amount of horsepower, but is specifically designed and tuned to utilize that horsepower. And maybe in some ways, something like using a turbo or, a supercharger to create more efficiency, intake more air, and boost some of that power that is already there. You got raw power that can brute force and just go crazy. And then you have highly tuned power with these different things. The track car is something like the Steam Deck, utilizing Super Resolute FSR or, DLSS. These things that are in place to take the somewhat less powerful device and make the experience one that is quite impressive. You take a track car and you whip around the track and you're like, dude, I can just take a corner and take that straight, and I'm going to get through that straight shorter than I would than a muscle car. A muscle car has that straight line speed, dude. They're going to be able to just rip through the straights and have maybe a shorter quarter-mile time or something like that. But maybe this is not a perfect analogy, but where the track car, the car that can zip zap all over the place, has the advantage is when there is anything that might be thrown at it that might be a little bit weird or wonky. And I would say that the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, those devices are going to be that of like a track car, or maybe not a track car, maybe more like someone's tuner, someone's Civic that they've decided to do the best they could with, right? But still, what they're doing with this device is they're maximizing the underpowered nature of it and pushing it further, right, than it perceivably could go, versus a powerful PC with massive graphics cards, insane amount of processing power. But the problem is optimization, right? And that optimization may change from time to time. You got that muscle car. That's crazy. That's insane. But you have to show up to a track that is all 90-degree corners. And you're like, I'm not going to be able to slow down and, utilize the power. I'm a rear wheel drive car. I'm going to slide all over the place, and it's going to be a very, very clunky experience. There'll be moments when there are these long straights where I'll be able to overpower and just go. But by the time I get to those moments, a device that's a little bit more nimble, that has been optimized for, right? That has, the tools to optimize it for, console gaming, it's just going to have a better experience in this given situation. And this is something I'm learning about. I'm learning that PC can brute force their way through a lot if you have enough power under the hood, but that still doesn't mean the gaming experience is going to be good. I'll give you a couple examples of real world examples. Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor on PC was a nightmare. The game was cool, it is beautiful, and it could, in some areas, have better visuals than that on something like a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. But the problem that people ran into was optimization issues. The game stuttered. The game had moments where, there was artifacting. There was this isn't working, and why is it working better on a subpar PlayStation or an Xbox, and on my PC, not mine, but Maya's in the internet's my PC can't even run this game well. It is just gross. Another one, Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero, we're having people experiencing issues, right? Dragon Ball Z, Sparking Zero, issues with some of the game fights and the gameplay because of optimization issues. Whereas on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, there is some sort of bias? I don't know. Is there, you guys tell me in the comments, is there a bias for console from these gaming companies? It seems bizarre. And so I sit here and I go, this gaming PC versus console thing isn't about who is better. It's just rather who has the resources, mental resources, to manage some of these things. Who wants to manage some of these things? Do you want to have a powerhouse, a computer, a PC, that is overbuilt and overpowered so that you can brute force your way through some of these issues? Or do you want to kind of resign that decision-making power and go, I'd rather just use a device that tells me the experience I'm going to have? This is something that I go back and forth in all the time. I'm like, do I want to have the customization or do I want to have the console experience? And what I'm noticing with the Steam Deck, right up against the Asus ROG Ally X, is the exact same type of experience. With the Steam Deck, what it has become, it has been the godsend to people like myself who have been historically people who have gamed on console. It has given me access to a library of PC titles of that are Windows only, whether they're indies or some more interesting ones that I can experience. And the cool thing about some indies, most indies that I'm playing, is they don't require a lot of power. And so the Steam Deck ends up running these indies beautifully. Games like Sea of Stars, which is everywhere, I understand, but still, or Eastward. I was going to say Eastbound. Eastward, which honestly, this vinyl is incredible. Okay, stuff like that. Like the Steam Deck runs it beautifully, and those games now they are accessible everywhere. But Core Keeper, another one. Like these games, some of them, maybe not the examples I gave, are only available on Windows. Can't run on my Mac, so it's not going to work. And getting a, RTX 4080 machine, for $2,500 with processor, all that stuff, to play indies ends up being like, is that worthwhile? And some would argue, yes, it is, because it's more than just a computer. You can do this, that, and the other, which I would do. And so I'm not making a case for myself, but I'm understanding now the Steam Deck has made its way into the console space, which is something that I would have never expected from something like that. Honestly, it's now at a point where if you're a console gamer, like myself, which I may continue to just be a console gamer, I'm not sure, announcement at the end of this video. If you're someone who plays on console, the Steam Deck may be an additional console to have. It may grant you access to games you wouldn't be able to play otherwise because they're on Windows, or some portability. Let's say you're like me and you want to play just turn-based RPGs, which is what I'm streaming mostly. Although right now we are going through, and by we I mean the community, I am going through Final Fantasy VII, the Re-series, all of the Final Fantasy VIIs. I'd already finished Remake. Right now I am playing through Reunion, and then Integrate, and then finally I'll be playing through Rebirth a second time with everyone else on a PlayStation 5 Pro. There's the announcement. Let's continue on. And other than that, if I want to play, Echoes of Wisdom, not Echoes of Wisdom, that is Chain of Echoes, which is a turn-based RPG. If I want to play the Metal Slug RPG, if I want to play Octopath Traveler or Triangle Strategy, I'm going to get just a little bit better of an experience than I would on my Switch on the Steam Deck. And, a better display, a little bit better ergonomics, that kind of thing. I'm also going to be able to I'll be able to take over if I ever have a PC somewhere else. But it's just on the Steam Deck, I feel like the experience is going to be better. Still waiting for the Switch 2, which this will be a conversation, which is the Steam Deck going to hurt Switch sales? Which everyone's going to be like, no, dude, Switch sales are going to be their own. I'd say, I don't think it'll hurt Switch sales, but it may hurt Switch title sales. We'll get to that eventually. But the Steam Deck has simply made itself into the console space. And I think what it's doing is actually bridging the world between a PC gamer and a console gamer, and it is doing something quite special for a new breed of gamers, a new breed of players, and that is the hybrid gamer. The person who values flexibility and location. Myself, I am a hybrid gamer. I am someone who does enjoy playing on a TV, but I want to be able to move around. I want to be able to take that experience on days where it's just me. I have those moments to myself, very few, but take those experiences elsewhere. I'm going to be going on vacation soon with some buddies. We're going to be going out to the mountains, and in the evening times when I'm by my lonesome, oh, how great would it be to be sitting back on the porch playing some Octopath Traveler while swinging on a swing out in the mountains. How amazing is that? You know, also going to be reading some manga, but still, that's a really cool thing. And while the PlayStation Portal was something that I was hoping would grant me some of that flexibility with my PlayStation 5, it just required a little bit too much attachment to a device. Right? I had to make sure the PlayStation 5 was running properly. I had to make sure that also the PlayStation 5 was connected to the internet the whole time. And so if I ever ran into troubleshooting issues with the PlayStation Portal, unless I'm home with the PlayStation 5, there's not much I can do. The difference with the Steam Deck is if I run into issues, I can troubleshoot on the spot because the hardware is running the software. That's pretty big. And so I believe now that we're in, 2024, the Steam Deck specifically, not portable PCs, but the Steam Deck specifically has created a fourth category or and this is, please don't come at me for this. This is possible. It is taking a market share from Xbox. Okay. But I believe that the Steam Deck has made a fourth channel. We got Nintendo, which is arguably not a channel anymore. Arguably Nintendo. People who have Nintendo also have PlayStation, whatever. Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, Steam Deck. These are the four consoles that we play on. Steam Deck is and has become something that is far more powerful and far more compelling as a gaming device than I ever thought it would be. It is surprising how awesome it is. And I was talking to someone on stream yesterday in their stream, another streamer, and I said, they were talking about Xbox. Like, why do you even need an Xbox anymore? If you have a gaming PC, Xbox is useless. And I thought, it's a very interesting point. Very interesting point. And I said, yeah, all I have is a PlayStation 5, soon to have PlayStation 5 Pro, a Nintendo Switch, whatever's coming out next, I'll get that, and a Steam Deck. And they're like, that is arguably the best combo. And I would say if we're talking about a gamer meta that is going to be a pretty heavy hitting one, portable PC, Steam Deck or Asus ROG Ally X, whichever one you're into, Legion Go, whatever, I would lean Steam Deck. PS5 Pro, Nintendo hardware. I think this triad is a combo that will grant the most access to most titles. Well, actually, yeah, it genuinely will, because PlayStation has exclusives that I can't play Rebirth on my PC, so eventually I will, but I can't. Final Fantasy 16 doesn't run super clean on PC, so yeah. PS5 Pro, Nintendo Switch OLED, Steam Deck OLED. Powerful. If you're willing to get rid of the Steam Deck OLED and go Asus ROG Ally X with, maybe Bazzite, that could be an option for you, but I'm not there yet. Portable PCs in this new wave of gaming, hybrid gaming, dude, it's crazy. Let me know what you guys think. I know that this could be a little bit of a controversial thing, saying that, PlayStation 5 and Steam Deck is the combo. But I'm really curious. Where do you guys land on this? It's an interesting topic. All right. I'm going to get to work. All right. Play more. Oh, join me on streams. Please. Yeah, join. Okay. Play more. Be kind. See ya.